Hey everybody! I hope you've had an amazing eclipse day. It's been quite a day around here, I have to say. Hello everyone! Is there anybody out there? Hi Myrna! Hi Wanda! Hello Darlene! It is so good to see you! Hi Deb! Hello everybody! You got a great view in Washington. That's awesome, Wanda! Hey Sherry! Hi Shelly! Hello Lisa! I am so excited to see you guys. It has been such an eventful day around here. Oh my gosh. Hey Casey and Julie and Catherine. I am so excited to see you guys. Oh my gosh, it's been quite a day. Wow. So we of course had terrible weather. It was raining first thing this morning, and then it's been cloudy and overcast all day long. And of course, it was totally cloudy during the eclipse. So despite the fact that we had made all of our engineered stuff ready to view this dang eclipse, it was totally cloudy. Oh my gosh. And it was really funny because, so my husband works like 3.6 miles from our house. And he's on the phone with me telling me, look in the clouds, you can see it through the clouds. And I'm like, I don't think we have the same clouds. We couldn't see anything. We sat out there for forever. Oh my gosh. So anyway, so much for that, I guess. I mean, that was my lifetime. Oh well. It was really fun, though, to see. A bunch of you guys have some pretty amazing pictures. I have been seeing some really awesome pictures from you guys, so that's really cool. So thank you for sharing that. My pictures include a cloudy sky and viewers with nothing viewing through them, so oh well. So let's see. So that was this morning. Well, that was actually this afternoon. And then I had... oh, and by the way, it did totally get sunny 1 hour later. Then this afternoon, I had to take my daughter to get her school permit. Oh my gosh, that's just such a whole thing. And we are like almost done. Just about. We just have to go to the DMV tomorrow. So we got all of the school signed off on the school permit so that she can start driving herself to her stuff. And then after that, we had, well, then there was like 4 more errands. And then after that is the really exciting part. So as you probably know, because I talk about it from time to time, you may have seen some of my pictures last year and even already this year. My daughter's in cross-country running. And cross-country running is like hardcore. I mean, these girls run all summer long. They run mile after mile after mile after mile after mile. They run in mud. She had a Cinderella race last year. Her spike shoe got caught in the mud at the end of a race last year. She just kept on going. But anyway, I love watching her run. And today they had time trials to see what the varsity team makeup would be. And she has had her heart set on the goal of making the varsity team, and today she got the last spot. She was 10th overall on her team. Now, some of you might think, well, that's, 10, whatever. This is out of like 50 girls, and they're the number 3 team ranked in the state. So it's so exciting. She's been working so hard, and I'm so proud of her. I mean, it is such a mental thing. And she ran actually it started raining right before the race, and it was pretty dry for the race, so that was good, although it rained at the end. And oh my gosh, I'm wet. In fact, I'm wearing my spandex pants because I run around on the race so I can yell at her, though I will say my voice will carry across the entire 5K course. I can reach her at any spot. And the really funny thing is, like, I have this cowbell, and she let me bring it at the last race last year. It's a, like, legit cowbell. Like, I got it at Farm and Fleet. The thing is really loud, and it's heavy, it's big. I mean, it's serious. But, it's kind of hard to ring because it's so loud, and I really like to yell. It's kind of my thing. I am always the loudest mom out there. So today I decided I should have brought the cowbell, but she said that maybe I could bring it to some of the races this year. Last year it was only the last one. So anyway, I think that's kind of funny. It is so great to see so many of you guys here. Thank you so much for joining in. I just gotta say, I'm so proud of her. She's worked so hard. I mean, I don't know where she gets this running thing from, because it is not me and it is not her father. So bless her heart, she has worked really hard to get to this. So I am so excited. Her first meet is on Saturday, so you know I will be screaming. So you should really hear me though. I take this whole thing seriously. Like, I'm usually kind of exhausted by the end of her races because I run I zigzag across the course. So anyway. So then I have to tell you another funny story. This is really sweet because my son reminded me. Because when it happened, I was like, oh, I totally have to tell this story on Facebook Live. So I took my sweet little boy out for lunch last week, and Ella was somewhere, I don't know, she was with her friends or something, and so we went out to lunch, and I'll be honest, we've been lunching a lot this summer, so kind of gotta cut that. Well, actually, they're going back to school Thursday, so yay! But I'm so excited. The funny thing is, we're at lunch having a lovely, lovely conversation, a lovely meal. And the reason we went to lunch in the first place was because we needed to go get envelopes that I mail my online classes card stock packs out in. I ran out, and I had no idea I was about out of them, so we had to make an emergency run to Sam's Club to get them. So, so I thought, oh, let's go to Olive Garden. It's so close. We can have a nice lunch, and then we'll go to Sam's Club, because it's always better if you go to Sam's Club when you're not starving. I mean, then you don't buy like a 87 pack of something you don't need. Anyway, so I reach into my purse to pay. Guess who doesn't have their wallet? I'm laughing, and Carl is like, what's wrong? He's like, he does not get it. And so I'm like, I go, I don't have a wallet, I have no way to pay. And he's like, I mean, the poor kid is like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna do to us? You know, I think he thought they were gonna throw us in jail or something, I don't know. So I said to the waiter, I'm like, I'm really embarrassed. I don't have my wallet, I can't pay. And he's like, oh, that's okay. And I was like, really? Okay. And I said, we just live in the next town over. I'll run home and grab it quick, and then I'll come back and we'll pay, and it'll be fine. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm here for another few hours. No problem. Just come find me. And I thought, okay, cool. You know, I'm like, you don't even want my information or anything? And yes, Lucy, I thought for sure we'd be washing dishes. So anyway, we come back, and I said to Carl, do not let me forget to go back and pay. So of course I'm mad at myself because I do not have like the extra half hour it took for us to drive home and drive back and everything. And we get there, and the lady who's like the hostess, I gave her my card and my receipt. I kept the receipt, and she's like, oh, well, thank you for coming back. That was really nice of you. And I thought, well, I guess you could have just like not come back. But of course, I would never want to do that, especially with my son there. So that was our good teachable moment of the day. But it was so funny because here's the real travesty. Carl loves filling out the surveys that they have. You know, you pay on the little machines now that's like at your table, and I generally hate those, but I love paying there because it's faster. So of course this was slower, but Carl loves filling out the survey on there. He loves leaving little messages for the servers, which I think is really sweet. But we didn't get to do that, and what a travesty. I mean, this is what it matters. In fact, speaking of travesties, let's just say today was a travesty for my 11-year-old son, who was totally geeking out about the eclipse. We couldn't see it with the clouds, and oh my gosh, he was sad. Like Mother Nature scorned him today, and he was not happy. So anyway, I have all kinds of stuff to share with you guys today. I have gotten some fun mail. Actually, I've gotten mail for a few weeks that I need to share. I also have a bunch of projects. I'm very excited about my projects for today. I had everything arranged and set up before we started all of our crazy afternoon activities, so I've been ready to go, which is kind of unlike me. I'm usually kind of a last minute girl. So I'm really excited. So first of all, I hope you guys are excited to be stamping with me today. Thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna flip our camera around if you guys don't mind, because I'm gonna share with you. So first of all, this is my shameless plug. This was yesterday's post. Let me fix my thingy here. There we go. These are the cards I put on my blog yesterday. They are actually a preview of something coming in the holiday catalog, the Quilt of Christmas, which has actually quickly become one of my favorite things in there, only because I am so not a quilting person. Like, are you kidding me? I don't have time to quilt. Like, I need quick, instant gratification. Well, here's how you can quilt with instant gratification. You can make quilted cards. Oh my gosh. And the fun thing is that these are somebody asked if they could pet them. Here, does this make you feel better? So pretty. Oh, love it. Like, seriously, they're really cool because they're not just Christmas at all. There's a couple there. Well, I think there's one or two Christmas sayings, but everything else is pretty not Christmassy. So I'm really, really digging this, and they are so fun. You can see I used really, really pretty colors with these cards. So if you didn't see this yesterday, check this out. That's on my blog. Actually, I put a link on my link to my blog on the little info of this video that you're watching right now. So, and I see so many of you have already shared this. Thank you so much. Please keep doing that. Let's see. Oh, well, so I have to share, I just have to share some of the stuff that I've been getting in the mail lately because I'm so excited about this. So Catherine Anderson, I think I even saw you on here, Catherine, tonight. She sent me this beautiful card. Look, this is so cute. She lives in Missouri, so I bet you she got to see the eclipse today. So this is a beautiful little card that she sent to me. And are you guys ready for this? Because this is the most amazing part. This almost made me cry just because it was so dang sweet. So I've been whining about my crappy scissors. Actually, I think these are an old pair, but they're not as bad as the other old pair that I have. Maybe these are the old crappy ones. No, these ones aren't either. I found a couple better pairs, but she sent me a gloriously brand new look virgin pair of scissors. Oh, so lovely. But wait, you guys haven't even seen the most awesome part yet. Check this out. There is a giraffe charm attached to these scissors. Is that not the most awesome? Oh my gosh. I just was like so excited when I saw this. So thank you so much, Catherine. This is like the nicest treat. I mean, hello, I could get my own pair of scissors. She even wrote something about that, and she was exactly right. I know you could probably get your own pair of scissors, which of course I could. I do know where to get some, but I never remember to put it on an order, and she was exactly right. So I am just tickled pink, or tickled giraffe print about this adorable gift. It was so sweet of her. So thank you so much. And speaking of sweet, this one is really pretty awesome. So I got this one, and I got to find the right card. Oh, goodness. Something just fell. Oh, it was an ink pad. I got to find the card that went with this. This was so sweet. This was from Dana, and I think I saw Dana is on here too. And oh, I can't find the card. Dana, darn it. What did I do with it? So Dana sent me these, and I have to tell you, Dana, they just did not get here all that well. It's been warm. But these are little Oreo egg things for Halloween. We'll open one up. It's probably not going to be pretty because it was really hot the week she sent these. I got these a couple weeks ago, but I kept forgetting to share them. Yeah, I can't even get this thing open. But she is so sweet. She sent me Oreo treats. And then, oh yeah, here we go. Look at that. I might have to eat that. It's a little funny, but I think it's really sweet that she thought of me with these Oreo treats, because you guys are so sweet. I do totally love them. In fact, Kelly, I don't know if Kelly's on here tonight. Kelly brought me a whole package of Oreos. Now, I thought that was really sweet of her as well. Darn it, what did I do with my card from you, Dana? I'm so sorry I can't find it. And I even, like, pulled it out. Ugh! So then, I have to laugh because I got another card from me. And another card from me. What am I saying? Another card cased from me. Goodness gracious. And I love this one. Although I will tell you, Jacqueline, she is a little stinker. She put all this confetti in here, and I keep finding confetti. Now here's the funny part. I opened this up in, like, when I was walking from my mailbox into my garage, and one of the pieces of confetti fell on the ground, and I didn't notice it. And every time I walk by it, I have seen the confetti, and it looks like a little hunk of glass, and I'm like, who broke glass in this garage and didn't pick it up? We're gonna drive over that and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it was confetti. So isn't that funny? So here is this beautiful card, but look, she added some glimmer paper. Hello, what a cute idea. So I love this. So thank you so much, my dear. That was so sweet. Oh, you're on here. That's awesome. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. And then another card I got. This one is from Holly. Oh, Holly was so sweet. So Holly, this is so cute. She said this card reminded her of the new bike ride card in the stamp in the catalog, and yes, it does remind me of that. And look at how wonderfully she colored this. So isn't that so sweet? And look, this confetti it's the gift that keeps on giving. I'm gonna find this like in my bra, I just know it. So anyway, so that was so sweet of her too. I love getting mail from you guys. You are just so kind to share. Oh, here's the card. This is it. And look and I love this card. Now I remember. Yep. Okay, so Dana made this, and this is what from the stamp set that was in last month's Paper Pumpkin kit, which is so cute. And I love this card. Isn't this adorable? She did a great job. It's so simple, but it's so bright and happy, and it totally made my day. So even though these are melted and not maybe the best looking, the thought just absolutely touched my heart. So I so appreciate it. All right, guys. Do I have any more? Oh, I will show you. I have one more card to share with you. And actually, this is one I want to case. This card actually came from my upline. She sent me a card. Oh, Dana, don't worry. I loved it. It was so sweet. I'm so thrilled. So thank you so much. This is a card that my upline sent me, and I have to tell you, I have the shell set, but I have not really done anything with it, and I love what she did here. So I am thinking I'm going to case this card, and we'll see what I came up with. But here's what is so genius about this. Do you remember this copper stuff? This is the copper trim. So she used it because it kind of looks like netting or even coral, depending on your point of view. So it totally goes with the whole shell theme, so I'm really digging that. So thank you so much. This was from, her name is actually Denise Waddell, so that was really sweet of her. Okay, so there is my show and tell for today. We're keeping these bad boys out because Dina finally has a nice pair of scissors to use. All right, now I have several cards to share with you, and I gotta tell you, I'm excited about all of them. So the first card is funny because I knew I loved it right away, and I was pretty sure you guys were going to as well, but I wasn't sure the right avenue to share it, and so today I needed one more Facebook Live project. So here we go. This is the card. It's so easy. Ooh, I had a little Oreo on my fingertips. I love it. So this card is super easy. And I love how it turned out. And I'm trying to think of where I got the idea for this. I'm not 100% sure. It might have been last week when I was doing some challenges. So this might have been one of them. I'm going to use my marbled background stamp to get this little edge piece. And then I'm using my beautiful bouquet stamp set. You might recall I have an online class for this. It just went out, so I highly recommend it. It's such a fun set, and every time I pull it out, I have more fun playing with it. So I just can't say enough good things about this. I need the happy birthday from here as well. I don't know why I can't find it because it's upside down and backwards. Here we go. All right, so hi, Alexandra and Cindy. It's lovely to see you guys tonight. Thank you for joining in. Let's see what else I can drop off my table. The funny thing about this is I actually cleaned up my office and got rid of a bunch of junk, and I was all proud of myself. And then I started stamping, and I totally made a mess. It's kind of the reason why I'm pretty sure I can't keep my office clean ever, because there is just always something going on in here. It's kind of impossible. So anyway, all right, let's do our stamping. First of all, you can see I have this perfectly aligned little hunk of stamping, and I did not just like get that all perfect. Yeah, I cut a strip, and I'm going to just put the strip on here. So that's how I did that. So I like to share tips like that because I think anything that can make your stamping experience a little easier and more fun is way awesome. Okay, of course I also love the color combination here, which is Bermuda Bay, Lemon Lime Twist, and Black. And I'm going to grab the one final stamp in here that I can see I need. Luckily, all my other card stamps are already mounted, but this one was the one I quick cut before I left for the day. So, okay. So, did I mention that school starts on Thursday? I know some of you are out there saying that you love your kids and you just can't imagine sending them back to school, but I am not one of those mothers. These kids are high maintenance, and we have spent a lot of quality time together, and it's time for me to have some quality alone time. If you want to come over for a mimosa or just a straight up margarita, I will be here on Thursday. I'm very excited. Can you tell? Okay, so I'm just going to place my strip of cardstock on here, and then I will grab my rubber, which is nothing more than a block that I'm just going to go across here. And then we have amazing, amazing marbled print. Okay, I'm going to set that way over there so I don't get dirty. Isn't that cool? I just love having this little strip here instead of trying to finagle that big stamp and stamp it straight or anything. Oh, please, I could never do that. All right, so I'm so excited, but this looks fantastic, doesn't it? Now what I'm going to do is just adhere that to my strip of white. Now, as always, I will post all of my projects on my blog Wednesday. I'll have the dimensions and all of that amazing good stuff, so you can check that out. And here is my little piece, and look at these new scissors I can use. Ah, the first cut, it was amazing. Okay, so I love that little strip. So I think this is the start of all kinds of possibilities right here, but where I'm going to take this is with this card. So the next thing that I want to do is stamp and punch my design out of a piece of scrap paper. So let me grab my scrap over here. Ooh, I'm not sure if this is big enough. I'm using what has actually quickly become my favorite go-to combination for punching, and that is the Starburst punch and the 2-inch circle punch. These two punches I have been using so much for me. Karen, I did order you that background stamp, and it came in on Friday, so I have it for you, my dear. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a bigger... No, I don't want to use that piece. You guys might laugh at this, but do you ever struggle to find the optimal scrap piece to use? Because, you know, you don't want to punch something out of a piece that's too small, and you don't want to punch something out of a piece that's not big enough, and oh my gosh, seriously. So I don't want to waste my scrap paper. Oh my gosh, I have like a ton of it. I need like excess papers anonymous or something. I don't know. Is that really a thing? Maybe not. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my favorite flower from this stamp set right here in Bermuda Bay. And of course, I love Bermuda Bay. I hope you guys are with me on that. Because if not, we might not be able to be friends. I don't know. Bermuda Bay is such an awesome color. All right. Then I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday right over the top. And I'm also going to stamp the little center right there. Debbie is asking if I ever figured out what that little line is for in that stamp set. And not totally. I haven't 100% for sure gotten the lowdown on that. I've had a couple people tell me that it is like for the bouquet to wrap around the bouquet, but I don't think so, because that is what this thing is for, and then there's actually a framelit that does that, but I still don't know what this is, and it can't be a stem. It's too, I don't know, it's weird. So if any of you guys are out there, I know we have a bunch more people. Look at that, yay! If you guys know what that is, please let us know. I'm still not quite aware of what it is. So, and I will tell you, the mystery is kind of killing me, so I'd love to get down to the bottom of that. All right, I'm going to stamp a couple of leaves in Lemon Lime Twist. Oh my gosh. I seriously almost said Lucky Limeade. That was like the old color. Okay, so there we go. We're going to punch that out with our 2-inch circle punch. And then I'm going to punch a scrap of, look, this is a good piece for my Starburst punch. Boom. There we go, people. So I hope you guys are digging this. All right. I'm going to adhere this right here. Center it up. And then, as I so always love to do, I'm going to spritz my card, because, you know, everything's better spritzed. And, uh-oh, I had my good spritzing marker out. What happened to it? This is not black, is it? Nope, early espresso. Oh, here we go. It was just right in front of me so I could see it. All right. Hi, Joan from Blaine. Lovely to have you here. All right, so boom, there's my spritz. Now I have to tell you, somebody asked me the other day, like their spritz goes everywhere but not on their card. So when I look at this right now, I can see what I like to call the splatter zone. It is from here, it goes across here, and then there's a little bit more off to this side, right? That's the splatter zone. Pardon my inappropriate air quotes with one middle finger on the side. The splatter zone is where I see the actual speckles fall on my card. And if you're saying, well, it's not getting my card, then I would say spritz in the same place, move your card over to where you're seeing it land, and then you will know where it goes. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. Okay, I can't wait for you who've never spritzed to try it sometime, though, because it's kind of one of those things that it's like a really exciting game changer. It's almost orgasmic, I'm not gonna lie, but shh, don't tell people. I know, it's kind of funny. It's the things that get us excited about stamping, right? I know you guys are laughing because I'm always excited about stamping, but it's true. Now, the other thing I love doing with my ribbon is trying to find new ways to use it. And I think one of the things that's kind of fun about this is that it gives you an opportunity to use ribbon where you're not just tying a bow again or a knot. It's not that I don't like doing that, because I do, and cards look fabulous with that. But sometimes I like something a little different. So I put a couple strips of fast fuse down, and then I'm just going to kind of go zigzag my little ribbon over the top, and I'm going to use my
little thing here to make sure that I have it sticking out enough so that my ribbon is placed correctly. And then I'll just kind of go like that. And then I'll trim the end of this ribbon with these new scissors that cut like butter. Oh my gosh, Catherine, thank you. Okay, I will try to keep myself calm now. It's really just the little things though. I mean, before I'd kind of have to like hack away at my ribbon, so that is just so nice. I have to say though, maybe the real reason she got me those was because she was tired of me whining about them on my videos. It could be, I don't know. All right, so there we go. Isn't this fun? Oh. Now, I normally am the kind of person that kind of can't deal with putting things off kilter. I think it looks funny and is not what card making should be, but it kind of works on this card. So I'm going to do that. I know some of you like super anal type A's out there are probably thinking, oh, why did she just ruin that card? But I really like it. And so it's my card. I can angle it funny if I want to. But isn't this fun? Now, of course, you could try this. Look, I'm going to trap one of those little confetti glitter pieces in here. Now, I am going to go out on a limb and say you could so change this card up and use a bunch of different color combinations. I think pink, either hot pink or hot pink. Oh my gosh, I can't say hot pink. Melon Mambo. You have to say the Stampin' Up! Color, not like the colloquial color. Whoa, can't talk. Colloquial color. No, that's not right. The Stampin' Up! Color. You don't say hot pink, you say Melon Mambo. Please tell me you haven't been like in a home furnishing store and said, oh my gosh, did you see that Eggplant Envy pillow? Oh, ooh, that's dating me because it's now Elegant Eggplant. It used to be Elegant, or it used to be Eggplant Envy. And the reason I know this is because that's the like one color my husband locked onto was Eggplant Envy, because all the other colors are envious of it. And then the other one is, we used to have a color called Positively Pink, and he said that was the one color that was positive. The rest of the colors were only kind of sure, not positive. So I thought that was funny. Okay, so there is my card. Isn't it fun? Now, you could totally add more to this if you wanted to jazz it up, but I think this is one of those things where I'm going to let it be because it's good. One of the things that I know I could use is I could add some bling on here, and that would be fun. But I think I'm going to leave it as is because it's nice and it looks good. And have you ever gone one step too far? Oh, that is maddening, because oftentimes that one extra step that I go is a color I can't get back. Or like, not a color, but a thing I can't get back. So that's kind of funny. Oh, all right, so there's our first card. Now, our second card is kind of fun. This card is one that I will show you. This is actually, I cased myself, sort of. This is a card I made a long time ago, like several years ago. You can tell it's a card front. It's not even a full card. And I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I made this, but I'm pretty sure I copied it from someone else. So it's not my original idea. Look, it's even in its protective jacket. I'm sure that I used this like in a class or something. I can't even remember anymore, but you can tell because this is like I think this set was called Tape It, and then, oh, I didn't even remember the set of these stamps, but there's a punch that matched it. So it's really cute, right? Okay. So I took that card and then I turned it into this card, and it's super easy. So this card is using the stamp. Let me close this up and clear off a couple of things, and then we'll get to it. It's using the Hostess set called, if I say it, I'll say it wrong. I'm just looking. Background Bits. Okay. So here's my cardstock. Now, remember how I said I was cleaning out my office? I was today, and one of the things that I found were a bunch of old cards. that I had made, you know, that I like card samples that I couldn't give up. I didn't want to get rid of, so I kept them. Okay, so here's my background bits. This is that Hostess set, and it is such a cute set. There's so many possibilities with this set. In fact, let me show you one of the things I did, and I'm probably going to do it to this one, but I haven't gotten up the courage quite yet. But I took this stamp, and you know what I did with it? I sliced it right off. Of course, you know, as a former biology teacher, I feel that the only dissecting I get to do these days is on my stamps. So, yep, I decapitated that thing right off. Yes. Now, here's the beauty of that, is I can still use that image together. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a block so I can show you. I can still place this stamp together on the block and use it as it was intended. The pieces fit together like a puzzle. Okay, so I can put it right back together the way it was, or I can yank that thing off and stamp them the way they were intended, which is this is green and this is something else. So isn't that awesome? Now, if you're wanting to do this, but you're really worried, first of all, try something a little less scary. And let me give you the perfect example of that. If, for instance, you have this stamp set, I've cut the "You Are Too Kind" off of the "Thank You," and the "Thank You" off of the "From All of Us," and the "Thanks" from the "One Tiny Word with One Big Meaning." I've cut all of those in half. I love that. In fact, look. See, you can see they are all separate in here. But the beauty is you can still use them together. Now, the reason I think this is a little bit easier is because you're just going straight across and there's not really anything in your way. You know, obviously you have to make sure you don't cut off the loop on the Y here, but this is a pretty easy cut going right across. Same with this one. And even this one isn't too tricky. This one's probably the most tricky of them all because the F comes up into the H a little bit. And the only thing you want to be careful is that you don't undercut. And what I mean by that is you're not, it's not a diss on your stamp. You just don't want to undercut the rubber. So you want to make sure that this is, oh look, there's a hair in here. That's gross. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, that looks like a dog hair. My dog sheds. Like there's no tomorrow. Okay, anyway, aren't you glad I totally pointed that out? Sorry, guys. So what I did is I cut straight down so that this part is not undercut like at an angle this way. So cut like that, because then that leaves an opening underneath and you won't get a nice image of this loop right here. So I'm cutting straight through. Okay. One thing that helps is if you use an X-Acto knife, but if you are not comfortable with an X-Acto knife, use a scissors, because my personal opinion is scissors are a little easier. Linda's asking that very question. So I prefer scissors. Now, back in the day when we used to have to cut out all of our stamps, as in they were not die cut in these lovely little shapes around the images, they used to be little squares, and then we'd have to cut around each of them. I used to sit, whenever my orders would come in, I'd sit in front of the TV and cut all of that rubber, and then I'd have this big pile of rubber sitting next to me that I would throw away because I'd finally mounted all of my stamps onto their wood blocks. Well, now we don't have to do that, though you can see I kind of still revert back to those days, and I do trim my rubber out. You've seen me do that before. So this is really the same thing. I'm just slipping these apart. And what I love about it is it gives me so many more options with my stamps. So that was a really long explanation of how I did indeed decapitate my flower. So it really was not hard. You just want to be careful to not cut any of the image on either side when you do that. So get a little surgical with your stamps. It's okay. All right. I'm the kind of person that just likes to get her hands dirty in stamping. Fetal pigs, fetal sharks, grasshoppers, you know, whatever it is. Okay, I'm only sort of kidding. All right, so anyway, we used to sell these scissors. They are Kai, K-A-I scissors, and they are, well, I mean, like 10 plus years ago, these were like 15 bucks. We used to call them the craft and rubber scissors. But I'm sure you can probably find these online somewhere still. I have 2 pair and I have continued to sharpen them over and over. In fact, I think the last time I used to have 3 pairs and we had discontinued these scissors, and I actually gave them to one of my downline because she was kind of heartbroken about it. So anyway, there you go. These scissors, though, when they do get all gummed up, you can see mine are kind of gross. Just use some rubbing alcohol or Goo Gone, and that works. The one thing I will say about these scissors is you need to make sure you send them someplace that knows how to sharpen them, because these are not your typical blade. It's a different type of scissor blade, and so you want to make sure that you have someone who knows what they're doing when they sharpen those. Okay. In fact, the last time I sharpened them, I sent both of my scissors in, and it was like 20 bucks for 2 pairs of scissors, which is how much 1 pair cost, but it's a long story. It was worth it. Okay. So let's make this card, shall we? After all of that long talk that had nothing to do with my card. That's kind of what you guys come for, right? The stories. I know, sometimes I can be a little long-winded. I apologize. So now I'm taking this lovely neutral color combination of smoky slate and basic gray, and I'm going to combine that with a pop of these colors. Now, my favorite stamp, of course, is this amazing, amazing, amazing border image that is from this gorgeous stamp set. Again, Background Bits. That's the Hostess set. And if you are interested in this, last week my deal was if you use the host code and spent $100, you could have this set or one of the other Hostess sets for free, and you totally can still get in on that. I will extend that through the end of the month. So if you would like to take advantage of that, you still have time. If you spend $100, you can get one of these sets for free. I also highly recommend, one more tangent and then we're back on our card, the Tulip set, because I love that one too. Okay, so to make this card, it really is easy. I'm going to combine a couple of the images in here and stamp them kind of randomly on my background. I'm just grabbing my basic gray ink pad, which I did indeed have out. Cutting yourself along with the rubber. Oops. Yep, Tracy, been there, done that. And I might add, it wasn't pretty. I have actually, do you see that? This is a scissor incident, and don't even ask me how I got it on my knuckle, but I remember that, and I have another one right here. Both of these are scissor incidents. This one was when I was a really little kid and I got into my mom's sewing scissors, you know, the ones you were not ever supposed to touch. Then this one, I can't remember how I did it, but it was, I think I was trying to poke my scissors through something, and then I got my hand in the way and whoops. Okay, so back to my card. I'm just stamping this little scripty background in here a few times. You can see I'm not lining them up exactly. I'm just kind of graduating a little bit around the card just so that I get kind of fill it out. And then I looked at this and I'm like, okay, that looks like I'm trying to build a pyramid. We need to add a little something else to that. So I went back to my set and I found this set. This is another one that I'm considering chopping up some of these little images because they're so cute. So I might just do that. You never know. So I am going to just go ahead and add these. And what I was doing was kind of putting them on the borders of my little background images so that it would kind of fill it out a little bit. And you don't have to go and do a ton of them just because, you know, I'm going to cover a lot of this up with those little border pieces, but I thought it looked kind of cool. It just, you know, added to the background. You can see it does dry quite a bit lighter though, in case you're like, wow, that's dark. It does dry lighter. So, all right, then I'm going to take my cool background, and in my original, I had a slightly different color scheme. This is Rich Razzleberry, Old Olive. This is the old, Hello Honey. I think that was discontinued last year, and then this is Basic Gray. So I substituted Pool Party for the Old Olive because I just wanted a little, I thought the Pool Party would look nice, I guess is all I'm trying to say. I like both color combinations, though they're nice. So that is, I just thought pool party might look kind of cool. So that's why I picked that. I may or may not have done the old olive one to start with. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Okay, but that is not any of the colors. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to start with my light color and then see if I can't work my way dark without re-inking much, because you know I'm at heart a totally lazy stamper. All right, so I'm just going to stamp this. Now what I did is just stamped this these are actually scraps left over from trimming cardstock, and this is about 3/4 of an inch thick. You could do it a little thinner. As you can see, there's a bit of gap, but I chose that because I thought it would work pretty well for what I was doing, and I had them handy. You can see these ones are actually cut out by hand, and as you well know, I'm a lazy stamper and I didn't want to do that, so that's why I used my little excess strips there. All right, so now we have Smoky Slate, Pool Party. Oh no, Smoky Slate and So Saffron. Next we'll do Pool Party. And you can see my extra thorough clean job there. Wink, wink. Hi, Lisa, you made it. Glad to have you here. Lisa, you're the one from Wisconsin, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's where you're from. We're neighbors. There we go. That one looks a little better. And last but not least, I've got my Rich Razzleberry. All right. So we'll finally stamp that one, and that is the beauty of clear blocks. You can see right through them to get things mostly even. I say mostly even because I have a camera in my normal line of sight when I stamp, and you'd be surprised. It is hard to handle sometimes. It gets in my way. I don't like it. All right, again, I have another strip. This is actually the same width as these ones, but it's a little bit longer. To be completely honest, I had a bunch of these. I cut these in half, and that's where these came from. This full length one is one I'm going to use to stamp my sentiment. All right, so the sentiment is also this gorgeous thank you stamp, all from the same stamp set. Makes me happy. Hey, Chris, how are you? I miss you, my dear. Are you coming Thursday night? I hope you are. Okay, there is my thank you. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Okay, next I shall take my triple banner punch. Did you guys know that this is like probably the punch I use the most? I'm always triple banner punching. So there we go. Just lopped off that little hunk because everybody likes a banner end. I know I do. Now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of, you'll love how I did this. I just held these in my hands and said, oh, that looks good. Like, no lie, that's what I did. And then I put some adhesive on my card and then I laid them down, and I did just kind of overlap them a little bit like that. They're not straight, they're kind of crooked, and committed. Oh no, you're having a creative funk, Kelly. Oh, Kelly, I'm so sorry to hear that. We'll get you out, I promise. Okay, so I've got my little thank you. I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals because it's almost a sacrilege if something's not popped up on one of my cards, right? Then I wanted to add a little bling to it. On this card you can see there are my little rhinestones, and then there was kind of a little bit of baker's twine that's sort of thrown under there, but we're going to add some silver metallic thread. I love this stuff. It adds a wonderful touch of sparkle to your projects. So I just did another line of fast fuse around there, and then I'm going to take and wrap this around my 4 fingers. Not to be confused with my forefathers, my 4 fingers. That sounds like it could be a dirty joke, sorry. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of poof it a little bit and then stick it down. Do you like that highly scientific version of how I do this? Now, one of the things I always strive to do is get the ends in the adhesive somewhere, just so that they don't end up sticking wonky, you know, like that hair that you can't get to calm down that always sticks off your head funny. It's the same thing like this. And so I love it. Ooh, somebody asked a great question. Who was that? Sharon. Is there a reason why I only use Fast Fuse and not Snail? Yes, there is, Sharon. Fast Fuse, in my experience, is quite sticky. Snail, in my experience, is not when you live in a humid climate. And between the fact that my card making takes place in the basement of the house that I live in the Midwest, that is very humid, especially tonight. It is totally storming outside right now. My cards have literally fallen apart on me, and that's kind of embarrassing. To give you a really good example of when I quit using Fast Fuse, or Snail, Snail, was I was at manager's reception, a special event they had for us at Epcot Center. This is many, many years ago, like a solid 10, maybe more years ago, but actually probably more like 15 years ago. I was swapping cards at managers, and that was a big deal because if you qualified to go to managers, you got to swap with like the creme de la creme of demonstrators. And I was so excited to swap. And my cards, literally, the pieces fell apart in my hands as I was trying to swap them with other people. It was really embarrassing, and bless their hearts, I think pretty much everybody still gave me their card, even though I was like, here's a pile of my card. It was kind of, actually, it was totally embarrassing. But luckily, Stampers are very kind, and we had a giggle about it, and I decided that I was going to use something else. Ooh. Oh, and I have messed up my Fast Fuse. I dropped this one. Okay, hold on. As I say that, I mess up my Fast Fuse. Okay, well, actually, you know what? This is a good story. When you get towards the end of your Fast Fuse, sometimes it will go back on itself. And so I pull this down, and I do a little repair. Now, this happens to me about once every 6 or 8 refills, just so you know. It's not very often. So I pull this apart a little bit and I crank it down. This is not happening. I should have known better than to try and fix this on live video. See if I can crank. Ooh, I'm having luck cranking it. Yay. I'm just winding this up on itself, and then it should be fine. By the way, this really only happens at the end. Now, the key to Fast Fuse, in case you aren't sure, the key to it is that you do the check mark at the end, okay? And I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this. I'm looking at the comments. I missed a few. Jennifer asked, do I sit when I stamp? Sometimes, but right now I'm standing. Fast Fuse is your favorite. You're late. Don't worry. You can, you hardly use your Snail anymore. Yeah, I didn't, you did not jinx my Fast Fuse, Sharon. Don't worry. See, there we go. All good. One thing I will tell you is if you don't do the check mark, then sometimes you get the big long, squiggly lines of adhesive, and that is really annoying. Do the check mark, because that's what kind of releases it from the dispenser, and it works really great when you do that. Okay, so does that not kill your back? So actually, Jennifer, I will show you. Okay, alert, you're gonna see my floor. Ooh, look it's messy. But do you see I have this cushiony pad that I stand on? Hello. And this is one of those cushion it was like $100, but it's pretty big. If you just had one for your little spot, it would be good. Look at. Ha ha ha. Okay. Have we seen enough of my feet now? I think so. I hate feet, by the way. So that cushiony pad is what allows me to stamp standing up, and I find when I stamp standing up, then I can move around and get all the stuff. I really like to have everything within an arm's reach of me, but that isn't 100% possible. So this way I can still stand up. Oh, by the way, here's my card. Isn't it cute? So there we go. We did catch a couple of tangent things in this card, but I think it looks fantastic. So there you go. All right. Now, in another card I want to show you is a card. I'm casing a case that I cased, Oops, I don't know if I have the original anymore though. So another card I found in my office was this card made by, I'm pretty sure this was made by my friend Julie, from a few years ago. And so she actually used a different feather set that we had a few years ago. So I just copied this with the feather set that we have now. So let's make this. It's crazy easy. You're going to love it. Do I put anything on the inside of my card? Many of my cards I do put stuff on the inside. I guess I have not on the cards tonight. In fact, do you guys want a preview of tomorrow's card? This will be on my blog with a video tomorrow, but the theme was back to school, so I made a hooray, it's back to school day. So yes, I do put stuff on the inside of my cards, but I did not on the ones so far I've done tonight, but that's kind of fun. So this is coming tomorrow, also very easy. Okay. Now, the other thing I like about stamping standing up is that I can stick my butt out. And you know we've talked about getting your butt out far enough for accurate and excellent stamping. So that is, of course, always going to be the case. All right, I'm using the stamp set Feather Together. This is perfect for cards for men, which of course I love because those are always tricky to do. Look, it even says, "Happy birthday to a true gentleman." Of course, I have not ever found use for that because I don't really know any. No, I'm just kidding. Totally joking. I know plenty. But I love this because there's some great sentiments in here. Thank you for all you do. Thinking of you. In fact, we're going to stamp something on the inside of this card, since you mentioned it. Okay, so this card is really another simple card, but I just love the look. Now, the other thing I love about it is the color combination. These are so not colors I would ever use for a feather card. Okay, so I have on this one, Pear Pizzazz, Sahara Sand, I'm just closing up these ink pads so I don't have an incident, and Bermuda Bay. So let me pull those colors. These are great colors and they're perfect for a masculine card. Okay, and I can't let this one go. So, oh, I love the butt out LOL. Cracks me up. Get it? Cracks you up. Oh, sorry, I can't stand it. It's terrible. Get it? Butt crack. Okay, I'm sorry. So anyway, here is the color combination for that card. So in this case, I normally would say stamp the lightest colors first and then work your way to the darkest. In this case, no, I'm going to stamp the dark one first, only because I'm going to mark that as the center of my card. So I'm going to ink this feather up in its natural color, clearly, of Bermuda Bay, because I know when I think of birds, I think of Bermuda Bay. But there we go. There's my Bermuda Bay. Then I'm going to do this other flower in both Pear Pizzazz on one side and then Sahara Sand on the other. So I'm just going to space it out just a touch. There we go. And then I'm going to clean my stamp. Oh, my stamp cleaner's out of view. It's way over there. And then I will close this up and do the other in Sahara Sand. Okay, I did a really cool watercolor card with this set last year, and oh gosh, the colors were like Dapper Denim, Cajun Craze, and maybe Rich Razzleberry, and that turned out great too. So I love kind of the versatility you can get with this feather set. All right, next, somewhere I have a little strip for my sentiment. Here we go. And I'm going to stamp this. It's all from the same set. Oops, I closed this up too soon. Oh, your 33-year-old granddaughter is sitting here watching with you, and she's cracking up. Ah, cracking up, get it? Sorry. I said flower, but I meant feather. Oh, yeah. I mean, you guys would laugh. My husband calls it the DCV, the Dina conversion factor, which I realize D, C, and V do not stand for those things. He's like, exactly. He knows that I will say stuff, and he knows that I mean something completely different than what I say. It's like he gets me, and I think that is wonderful. So I kind of love it. Oh, Sharon, you haven't gotten this one. It's great for man cards, which I love. Okay, so I'm going to take my trusty triple banner punch and punch the ends of this. Sometimes I find it's easier to just lop off that excess so that you can get down to where you want it to be a little quicker. There we go. That looks good. And then I'm going to pop this up right over the top. Now the other thing that I did to this, guess guys, what else would I do? Spritz it, of course. I wouldn't want my card feeling left out like it had wanted to be spritzed, but I never got to it, so of course. Now I wanted the spritzing to be subtle and not like completely in your face, so that's why I went with Sahara Sand. Plus, look at this, marker's hardly been touched. It seems like it needs to get used. And I will do it twice. There we go. So, and again, I can see I have some spritz over to the side. I always find it funny. I spritz a little bit further to the right and then it seems to spray this way, but I think it's all in your wrist and how you do it. But anyway, so I love that you guys, okay, some of you must have seen me this was about a year ago. Last summer I did this video and I was making a card with pineapples and I kept calling them pumpkins. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. I couldn't stop though. I just kept saying pumpkins, 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 but I was making pineapple cards. Oh my gosh. Oh, I still kind of giggle whenever I think of that one. Okay. So I have mounted this to my card. I've mounted it first to a layer of Pear Pizzazz, and then I shall take my sentiment that I have punched and pop it up on top. Okay, I sent you one of your feather cards. Yes, a die cut across the feathers with the sentiment on the die cut. Did the die cut come out with a stamp set as a bundle? Ooh, Lois, that is a good question. Can you tell me, Lois, what color were the feathers? Were they the ones I was talking about that were like rusty color, like denim, and I think the third color was rich raspberry, that purplish color, or was it a different color? Because I can't remember for sure. There used to be a different feather set. It was more graphic-y, meaning not like these looked to me like real feathers. The other one was like clearly graphically hand-drawn feathers. Like I think one was polka dotty, the other one had stripy lines. That was a different set, and it did have framelits. And it was out maybe 3 or 4 years ago that it was discontinued. And then this one was a newer one that obviously is current. So anyway, let me know, Lois. I'll help you figure that one out. Did the die cut come with that stamp set as a bundle? And you know what, Lois, actually, I want to say, I'm thinking back, and I want to say that the die cuts were actually in a different set that had other stuff, and I think it coordinated with a Christmassy set, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be completely wrong. If you remind me, I will look into that for you. Oh, funny. Yes, it was a retired feather set that had those. Ooh, do I find that it sometimes smears if I touch it too quickly? The spritz, sometimes with black, like, what did I just make? Oh, well this, let's see, here, this card today. So I was making this card today, and do you see that right there? I mean, this is pretty nitpicky. I did smudge that, and it was after I thought it would have been dried. But I am not sure. You did not miss it. 4 Feathers was the name of the set. Thank you, Catherine. 4 Feathers. And back to Lois, the die cut was the Sahara Sand. Yep, that was the 4 Feathers set, and it did have dies. That is the one that I used, Lois. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, those are all the cards I have planned. What time is it? 8 o'clock? It's only 8 o'clock. Don't you think we should stamp a little more? Oh, you guys, I found my card. This was the other one. Ha ha. This was my original card that I completely copied from my friend. Let's see, who was it? Julie. I'm almost positive it was Julie. And so that was my original. And then here is my new one. So this one had 4 feathers, and then 2 were shaped this way, and then this one and this one were shaped this way. So the die cut worked with both of them. Okay, but there you go. I like my new card actually even a little better. So there you go. And thank you for the love, you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, so I think we should have a little bit more stamp riffing. You know, good and sometimes crazy things happen when we stamp riff. You know what I want to stamp with? Okay, this is a preview, and I'm totally got an online class in the works for this, but I've not played with it enough. And that is a preview set. Okay, I'm grabbing it. Okay, here is at least part of it. Now the big question is, what did I do with the rest of it? I was playing with it a little bit this weekend. I'll show you what I came up with. It's not super exciting, but I was just warming up. And that is this stamp set. This is the Painted Harvest, I believe, is what it's called. What did I do with it? That's the real question here. I have all this. I'm kind of like in the middle of about 8 different projects right now. Oh, here we go. Found it. Okay. Painted Harvest is the name of the stamp set. And I could not be more excited about it. Do you like my Vanna? Dink. Okay. So this set is coming in the holiday catalog, which starts in like 10 days. And I love it, but I haven't had enough time to play with it. It's so excited, or I am so excited about it though. I absolutely have an online class coming with this. I also, actually yesterday, I put a link in my blog post, but I haven't actually put it in my online class section of classes. I do have one for the quilt set that I showed you at the very beginning. This totally is going to have an online class. And here's the cool part. This is going to be half Christmas, half not Christmas. I love it. And the fun thing about this is because I just think there's so much you can do with this that is not Christmas. And I might add, this is the only way I will ever quilt. Plus, this is so not my thing. Like, quilting is not my thing. I don't sew, but I love the set. Okay, but back to this one, because I really like this. And I know I'm totally an enabler. You don't get to be a career demonstrator by not enabling some people along the way. Just saying. All right. Now, I think I enable for the better, the betterment of humanity, right? So I have to tell you, oh, dang it, my iPad's not up here. So I got to write this down here. In my team Facebook page, we have color challenges posted every week, or basically a color combo, color combo inspiration. And the color was Sweet Sugar Plum, Pool Party, and Old Olive. And one of my team members, and now I'm blanking, I wish I had my iPad with me so I could look it up quick. One of my team members made a really cool card using those colors and the stamp set. So I want to kind of recreate something sort of along those lines. Who is asking, do I ever show the cards that I make in a card class? Not really. I usually show like one sample or a couple samples, but I don't typically show the projects that we will for sure make in that class. And the reason is because A, I like to surprise you, and B, if I showed you all the cards, you wouldn't buy the class. And classes are an extraordinarily large amount of work, so I want you to buy the class. I promise you, it's worth it. And I know there's a bunch of people on here who do lots of my classes. They can testify to the quality of my projects. I will tell you though, in my video from those quilt cards though, I did flash one of the cards that I made in the class, or that I'm going to make in the class. So there you go. They are high quality projects, I will tell you that. All right, so let us make something fun with this right here. I think I'm just going to start with a background. I'm going to go with very vanilla. I'm feeling very vanilla with this set for some reason. So Now, somebody, I think it was Lynette. I think Lynette asked me earlier somewhere if I had any suggestions for lining it up. And yes, I do. Let me get my ink pads out quick. Okay. So here are my 3 colors, and I'm going to probably add early espresso to this because I can. It's my card and I can do it if I want to. Oh, okay. Thank you, Joy. Yes, Joy has taken some classes from me. Now, I did a card. My first card was with the Beautiful Bouquet, and it is amazing. That is one of my favorite classes I've done more recently. Another one I have coming up is truly amazing, and that is a set. It is my A Day in the Creativity Cave. Now that's a unique class. It is still it is coming up. I will do it in person on September 8th and 9th. Or you can order a to-go kit, and it comes with lots of product. So that one is kind of spendy at $75, but I promise it's worth its weight. Because it comes with like $50 worth of product plus like 10 to 15 projects. Well, I should say probably 12 to 15 projects. Okay, I just stamped this off, and then I am going to stamp it again. Not stamped off. So I'm kind of building up sort of a ring of color. Okay, and then I'm going to do the next layer. And what Stampin' Up! Has kind of done with this is they have taken sort of the two-step stuff out for us. So they've kind of built that into the image itself. Now I realize I'm talking about 2 different things at the same time, and some of you are probably going to be lost. It's okay. We'll get you there. All right. So in this case, I don't have to line anything up because I'm just kind of stamping it and going. We're going to do another one and we'll not stamp it like that. All right. Ooh, Peggy, was this your card? Somebody, I can't remember who posted this. It might have been Peggy. Okay. My other online classes come in 3 different versions. One is the online only version, in which you just get the directions and the video tutorials emailed to you in a PDF. And that is usually $20 or $25 depending on the number of projects. There are 8 projects in the $20 one and more than 8 in the $25 one. And then the other version is online plus pre-cut cardstock, and those come with all the pre-cut cardstock you need to make the class. Now it comes with everything you need pre-cut. So for instance, if you needed a scalloped circle or a punch of some kind, it's in there. If it is the Beautiful Bouquet stamp set and framelits, of course, you're going to need those. I won't die cut all of those for you because it's on every card. Okay, so do you see how I've stamped that multiple times and I've kind of built up layers of ink and shading in that? Okay, so that was Pool Party and Sweet Sugar Plum. Okay, now the center of these, I'm going to stamp in Early Espresso. And here again, the stamp is kind of already done the shading for you. I stamped it a couple times just to kind of keep with our little theme. And I'm turning them a little each time. Oh, so beautiful. I really like this. Okay. Why do mad faces keep coming across? Yeah, what's up with that, you guys? You shouldn't have mad faces. Now, as I continue to talk about my card and something else at the same time, the other version, I have 3 versions of my online classes. The other version, basically you get the class for free, and then you are purchasing with it a bundle of products that coordinate. So for instance, you would get the stamp set, framelits, and I'm thinking my Beautiful Bouquet one, because that one just came out. That one came with stamps Let's see, stamps, framelits, 2 rolls of ribbon, and something else. I can't remember. But anyway, there you go. Thanks for sending love faces. That's nice. Okay, so you can see, look at how pretty this is. Now this one has the coordinating punch that punches this out, which whoever came up with that is genius. Because of course, you can use that for so much more than just the stamp set. Now what I like to do in a card like this is when you have a stamp like this that's kind of rigid in the way it looks, you really need to kind of finagle it a little bit so that it looks natural with what you're stamping. And then you also kind of want to fill this white space up a little bit. You don't want it to be just empty white space. So I kind of like stamping off and then back on here a little just to sort of fill that up and build it. And I think this is what kind of sets cards apart, is when you build up the images a little bit more. Instead of like awkwardly placed, you can really make a beautifully placed card. Now it does take a little practice. It doesn't just happen. But here again, do you see I'm just adding some more subtle, lighter layers to this. Boom, boom, boom. And that sort of fills things up a little bit. Now, another way you could do that too is by sponging a little bit of color in these areas, and that kind of fills things up as well. Isn't that gorgeous though? Oh, I like this a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do is stamp. I just happen to have this sitting right here. I'm going to, do I order the class? So you can order whichever version you want, and then it'll all come to you from me. And all the details, by the way, are on my online class page on my blog. So, oh, I just did it in the wrong color. What do you suppose the chances of stamping that with Early Espresso are? Perfectly lined up. So now, despite the fact that I have a degree in biology and am happy dissecting like dead stuff, I do not have much knowledge in the ways of flowers. So somebody was saying they're happy you could do more than just sunflowers with this, and I would totally agree. By the way, you have no idea how far out my butt is right now. As I try to line this up, we'll see. We'll see, we'll see. Say a prayer. Oh, not real good, but not terrible. It's all right. It's like I meant to do it that way. That's what I'm going with. How about you guys? Okay. Now, I definitely think this needs some spritzing, because if nothing else, it'll help you forget the fact that I didn't stamp it perfect. Okay. So I'm just spritzing some Early Espresso on there. Just subtle, just a little bit. Okay. Now this is usually how I work when I'm making cards, by the way. I sort of build them up. I'm hoping this piece that I'm about to grab is Early Espresso. Oh, yay, it is. So, oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, if you have never watched my Cutting Cardstock Like a Boss video, I highly recommend it. And I'm going to show you what I do in that. I explain cutting paper in there. And what I keep on hand, and actually what I'm reaching for just outside of the camera view, is a stack of pre-cut quarter sheets in different sizes, and I'll show it to you in just a second, but we're going to embellish this a little bit more. I am looking for my beautiful lace trim that I'm trying to decide how I want to put that on here. Oh, I don't want to cover up anything. Here's where it gets a little tricky, because I want to be careful not to cover things up. This is actually what I've been doing a little bit lately, is doing this corner business. Ooh, I just did this. I made a really pretty card this weekend that's for my summer camp class coming up, and I did this corner thing with some ribbon. So I'm just going to roll my fast fuse across here, and I've got it in the corner. By the way, it helps if you don't change the size of your ribbon after you've stuck it down to your card. Just saying. Okay, and then I'll do another little bit across this corner. And see, that way I'm not covering up all the pretty flowers, because I'm kind of smart that way. Every so often I can be really smart. It's not always, but every so often. Okay, so then I'm just gonna adhere that down here, stuck on there, good. Now here's the real question of the day. Do we put it on a Sweet Sugar Plum card base? Or do we put it on Pool Party, which of course I need to cut. Oh no. Is this Pool Party? No, this is Soft Sky. Dang it. Don't you hate it when you need Pool Party and you only have Soft Sky cut? Hold on a second. I'm going to get some. I'm pretty sure that's a song by Alanis Morissette. I won't sing it for you because that would be bad for everyone involved. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's like a free ride when you've already paid. I can't sing. Sorry. I apologize. Okay. So there's that. And there is that. Ooh, I don't know what one to do. They're so pretty. Ivory. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ivory. Let's take a look. That is a color I happen to have ready to go. Oh, that is nice, but I think I like the richness of a little color. Okay, what do you guys think? Karen says Pool Party. Someone else says, Kay says Plum. Plum, Pool Party. You guys are killing me. You're even. Oh, Sharon, I love it. You keep ribbon and you Pool Party. Sweet Sugar Plum. Sweet Sugar Plum. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's even. Ooh, Sweet Sugar Plum is starting to win out. What about Pool Party, guys? Don't forget about Pool Party. Okay. Sugar Plum. Sugar Plum wins. Oh, there's another one for Pool Party. Pool Party. Okay, I'm an Aqua girl. I'm going to have to go with Pool Party. I see the votes. It's contentious. I'm making the executive decision of Pool Party because I like the color Aqua. And you can never go wrong. But maybe I'll just have to make another one in Sweet Sugar Plum. Dang it, you guys are voting even more. Ah. All right. Okay. So I'm going to put my dimensionals on because I gotta. All right. And then we're going to have to make one more card, don't you think? Ugh. 8:23. I usually go for 90 minutes. Why not? All right. There you go. Pool Party. I think it looks good. It's in the Bermuda Bay family. Exactly. Sharon gets it. All right. That one turned out pretty good despite my happy birthday mess up. So not bad. I'll keep it. Ooh, you know what else we should add though? Really quick. Sorry. We got to make it sparkle. So I'm just going to spritz my clear Wink Costello over the top. I'm just banging it again against my scissors. Oh, how many stamping things can I say in one night? That sounds totally dirty. Quite a few, as it turns out. So can you see the shimmer on there? It's kind of tricky to catch on camera sometimes, but it does shimmer. Okay, there you go. All right, now one other one. Now I did the kind of artistic turn it till you can't tell it's supposed to be lined up version. So let's do a not perfectly lined up version. Ooh, and don't you think we should pull in a little of the DSP that matches with this? Because I do. Hold on, let me grab it. Okay. So there's this gorgeous DSP. So pretty. And there's all these beautiful colors that coordinate with it. And I'm just trying to decide which one I want to use. Oh, there's chevron paper. Chevron, people! Oh yeah, then there's this pretty paper. How am I going to pick? I think I want to use this. I want to do something with this. Okay, so this has in it, it looks like Daffodil Delight and then maybe some Peekaboo Peach. So let's see what we can do with that. Now, I might not go with the Daffodil Delight. I think I might tone it down a little bit and use some, well, maybe I will, well, let's see. We're going to do a little experimentation, so give me a second in case this doesn't turn out right the first time. We will make it work. Let me clean my stamp off quick. Do you ever clean your stamp and then finish it off on your hand or your pants? Because I don't. Kidding, I totally do. In fact, I do it so much that once I accidentally wiped it off on my white pants when I normally don't have white pants on. Oops. It did come out. Not recommended with permanent ink. I will just add that to you. Okay, so yes, your new holiday catalog. Someone just got theirs over the weekend, so hopefully you'll have them very, very soon. If not, if you don't have one by the end of this week, please let me know. I will make sure you get one. I sent out quite a few, so you should be getting them in the mail. Okay, I'm going to go with some, oh, but let me come back to that last card. Remember I mentioned cutting my cardstock? So here is this thing. I got this in the kitchen section of Target. It is a refrigerator container. And what I have on here are all of the measurements of cardstock that I use most commonly. So 3 3/4 by 5, and you can see I have white, I have crumb cake, I have vanilla, and I have watercolor paper. Then 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. White, vanilla, black, crumb cake, and a few other assorted colors. Then 4 by 5 1/4. White, vanilla, black, and crumb cake. And then I also have just plain quarter sheets for different things. Okay, so all of these pieces I keep in here organized so that when I need to make cards, I don't have to constantly go in and out and grab pieces that I individually cut for the card. They are all just right here, so I can pull one out. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a quarter sheet because I'm going to cut this one down a little bit. Let me set that back out of the view of the camera. And we're going to start. So I am inking this up in Daffodil Delight, but I'm stamping off the first layer of ink, and it should look all crazy like that. That is what it is designed to look like. So in case you're thinking your stamp does not stamp right, it does. This one really takes that texture, that watercolor look to the extreme. Now I'm going to add some Peekaboo Peach on here, which I know is kind of an odd color combination, but I want to point out in the stamp, there is kind of this little thing right there. Do you see that? It goes on the inside of the design. And look, there it is again. That is what I line up. Okay. There we go. Renata, I see your comment. Will you please email me about that? And I will track your package. You should have gotten them by now. And I'm going to put my email on here because I don't want to forget to follow up with you on that. drico@yahoo.com. Please email me if you have a question. Okay, so there we go. Now this is not quite as full looking as I want, so I'm going to stamp this once more, and I'm not going to stamp it off. And then I'm stamping it again. Ooh, that looks better. And then I'm going to stamp this once more. Again, I'm lining it up about the same. And that kind of really fills out my sunflower a lot more. Now this is an arty set. It's not perfect sunflowers. So, you have to really appreciate the fact that it is not going to be a perfect sunflower. The design is not meant that way, but I like the look of it so far. I'm going to add my brown center. And I'm still not 100% convinced. And by the way, do you see how the brown kind of fits in that little area nicely? And just like that, I'm going to stamp that a few times too, just to kind of completely fill it in. Okay, now I am going to cut this out with my new cutting scissors. Yeah, depending on where you live, you do get things faster. Now, don't necessarily base it off of Salt Lake though, because I don't believe the things that are catalogs actually get sent from Salt Lake. I believe they get sent from the publisher, which I don't know is in Salt Lake. In the past, it has not been. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm not even going to tell you what that looks like to me. Okay, so I'm just going to go around and cut this out. Oh, I just, from the get-go, I knew this set was going to be amazing. In fact, this was one of the things we got in Thailand as a gift, and I was like literally giddy over it. The other thing that I love is the leaf punch, which we're going to use on this card. Hopefully it will come together okay. I probably should not have done a 5th card, but you guys are hanging out with me, so it's okay. I'm not going to lie, I'm getting a little tired here. You know, I'm impressed that my voice is still good because I did kind of yell at my daughter's little race this evening quite loud. And I tend to lose my voice. I like it. I like that she can hear me no matter where she is. I think she was a little embarrassed at first, but now I think she kind of likes it. Okay, so there we go. Now, here's why there's not a die for this, is because, first of all, it's depending on how you stamp it, you're going to get a different look. And I think it was sort of designed to not be, you know, exactly the same every time, and so that you could stamp it a bunch of different times and you'd get a little different look. I don't know. That's my take on it. I don't know if that's for sure true. Okay. I'm going to get my little trimmer out. I got to move some of my ink pads. You should see. So this weekend I had my area where I stamp completely clear, like completely all the way across clear. And it is a complete disaster right now. That's okay. All right, I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4. And I know that the opposing measurement is 5 because to get the proportions right, you add an inch plus, oops, that was a score blade, an inch plus 1/4. So 3 3/4, the opposite measurement is going to be 5 because 3 3/4 plus 1 1/4 is 5. Does that make sense? So if it was 3 1/2, then it would be 4 3/4. If it was 4, it would be 5 1/4 because I add an inch and 1/4 to get the opposite measurement. That's when you start with the smaller one. If you start with a bigger one, then just add or subtract an inch and 1/4. Okay, so there is my background. So pretty. And then what I'm going to do is take my old olive and my scrap. I'm going to stamp my leafy thing a couple times here. So again, here's what I'm talking about, the design. So this design is made so that the texture in the stamp stamps out lighter. And then when we take the detail image and stamp it on top, it comes out darker. Do you see the difference between the two? So the stamps were designed to stamp that way, which I think is kind of cool. Okay. There we go. And because it's on a photopolymer, you can see it to stamp it even and correct. And then I'm going to punch with my punch, which makes me happy. I love that this punch exists. Oh, there's so many things we could use this with, which I love, 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 love. Okay. Now, being the person that I am, I can't just put a flat leaf on there. That would be crazy. Oh my gosh. It would make good monster eyes, Betty. That is a good idea. Oh, I like that. Ooh, I'm going to have to think on that. In fact, I'm going to write that. I'm going to jot that down here in my little notes from tonight's Facebook Live, that the sunflower center can be monster eyes. Good job. That was from Betty. Yay. Okay. All right. I'm getting old. I can't remember stuff anymore, so got to write it down. Okay. So I'm going to stamp or stick that there. And remember how last time or in the last card we made, we talked about filling out the area. What I'm going to do is fill out the area. Now I want it to be a little bit subtle, so I'm not going to do it super dark. I stamped it off, and part of that was to make sure it was going to look okay. So I'm actually going to stamp that one off too. And then when I put this over the top, do you see it just kind of adds some depth to my stamping? We'll do the same thing here, but what I'm going to do is actually adhere this down quick, just to ensure the placement of everything. So I've got this kind of off kilter. Okay, then I'll set this down so I can place the second one in the right spot. So I'll get rid of that. And then I'll do the same thing there. This time I got brave and I didn't stamp it off. I stamped it full strength. There we go. And then I'll kind of place this a little bit off kilter. And there again, I've created a little more dimension in my card so it's not flat and boring. Because Hallmark makes flat, boring cards. We make amazing cards. And then, oh, looky there. Doesn't that look a little bit more impressive? I think so. Okay, we're going to pop this whole thing up because that's what you do when you cut it all out. You got to pop it up and show it off. All right, so we'll do that. And what kind of card do you think this should be? Oh, so pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? You guys are all like, oh, I need that set now, don't I? Yeah, you do. Yes, yes, you do. Okay. So there we go. Ooh, I think I have another piece, yes, of... Ooh, that's chocolate chip. Never mind. I want early espresso. I know I had more in here. I do, but I think it's a little big. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I want a thin early espresso layer, so I'm going to go and cut it. Now, if you recall, my printed piece was 3 3/4 by 5. So this one I'm going to do on the 1/8 inch, so it's going to be 3 7/8. So it's just a little bigger, except that's 2 7/8, so we're going to cut it to 3 7/8. All right, and then likewise, it was 5 before, so we're going to add 1/8 of an inch to that, and that is 5 1/8. Okay. And then we get just that skinny little bit. We don't want the early espresso to be too overpowering. Ooh, that's pretty. By the way, there is an acorn in this set, so we can definitely make some cool fall things with it. But I just love the look. And of course, pop that up a little. All right, I think we're going to need to use our Nah, I'm not going to use that again, but we are going to use some more lace trim because that's pretty. What kind of, did anybody say, I'm going back. Ooh, get well card. Thinking of you, friend saying, thinking of you. Kindness means more much than you will ever know. Sympathy, thinking of you or thankful. Get well. Gosh, you guys are good tonight. It's bundled with the sunflower. Oh, were you asking about the punch? Because yes, it is bundled with the sunflower. Let us do, what was I thinking of? I just got a new stamp set, but it's so not appropriate for this. Oh, where is it thinking of you? Oh no. If you could only see me right now looking through my piles of stamps. Oh. Yeah. I could do at least you're still pretty. No. Oh, darn it. I wanted to use the Climbing Orchid stamp set. I gotta use that one of these times. By the way, if you have any suggestions on things you would like me to demonstrate, oh, pretty please, will you let me know? Because I would love to demonstrate pretty things for you. Or, I mean, specific things for you. I love it when you tell me what you want to see, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. We're going to stamp thank you. This is from the Daisy Delight stamp set, in case you did not notice that. And I did see someone say copper trim, and I would have to say correct. We will do copper trim for sure. Here we go. Okay. This is so pretty. Pretty. Oh, those scissors work so well. I think I used copper trim. What did I use that on recently? Something. Oops, I just dragged it across my ink pad. Oh well. Such is life. Do we like that? Or should we put it over here? Room. We'll put it over there. Much better. Ooh, and we could kind of stretch that out a little funky. What do you think of that, people? I'm feeling the love. Oh, I'm glad you like my tricks and in-depth details, Carmen. That's what I love to show you. Renata, you want the bike stamp? Done. We will have a bike stamp next week. Promise. There, I kind of pulled it apart. That's cool, isn't it? And I love it. It just like stays that way. So cool. All right. You did actually. This is my 5th card, Paula, but the good news is you can catch the rest of it. All right. Now, as I mentioned before, pretty pleased with sugar on top. If you need to order something, would you please order from me? Oh, it would help me out. And I'm not even going to lie, this has not been one of my better months. I think everybody's on vacation or something. Okay, or else you guys are all waiting for the holiday catalog. But I highly recommend you sign up for summer camp. You won't even believe. Like, that's the whole thing, is tips and tricks. All right, there we go. That turned out all right, huh? But you know what we need? Some clear wink of Stella. Okay, this time I think I'm going to paint it on. Just right on my sunflower. Like so. Notice I'm keeping it off of the center. That's early espresso, and the reason is I don't want to contaminate the colors. I don't want to get the early espresso out in my pretty yellow sunflower, but then I'll come in and do it. And yes, see, it totally picked up the color. I'm glad I did that. Okay, So there we go. Now it's shimmery and shiny and gorgeous. Do you see that? Oh, so pretty. So there you guys go. Okay. You'd love another Eastern Palace demo. Do you know, I actually have quite a few videos on my blog for that, my dear, if you check that out. They are there. So now, oh, I had the piggy drawing. Who did that go to? Let me check. 1 second. I'm looking, darn it, I don't see it here. Ah! Okay, I did draw the name for the piggy set, so that'll be going out this week. Who was it too? Because it was like one of my regular customers that got it. I recognized the person. Anyway, okay. Gosh, that did turn out pretty good, huh? Not bad for on the fly. All right, so let me bring in all the cards that we did tonight. So there was this one and this one. And then we got to close up the ink so I can bring in more cards and not make a mess. Move all my stamps out of the way. You should see, look at, I'm going to even just show. Look at that. That's a whole mess of stamps. Just saying. Okay, a bit more about summer camp. Of course. So summer camp is, I do this actually 3 times throughout the year. I usually call it a day in the creativity cave because that's what it is. But what we do is make a whole bunch of projects. There is a video tutorial for each one. There are all the cards from tonight. A video tutorial for each project. And most of them are cards, but then like this time we're going to make a notepad holder, and we're going to make a set of cards, like a gift set of cards. Another thing, we're making like a little ornamenty thing. So there's a lot of different variety of projects, and if you don't have all the stamp sets, that's okay, because I give you tons of suggestions for what you can substitute for things you have, like flower sets or different types of sets that will work with the card. All of the pre-cut stuff is sent to you along with all the products in your goodie bag, and the goodie bag typically has about $50 worth of catalog merchandise in it, so it is so awesome. And then, like I said, all those tutorials. So, like, seriously, I could probably charge that amount just for the projects you make, much less all the free stuff. That is my son, by the way, waving. You can say hi to the internet.
Hi, internet. Wait, this is Facebook Live, isn't
Yes, it is Facebook Live.
Hello, people.
So anyway, it's a really good deal. Now, if you come to the live version, and actually I have somebody, I'm feeling pretty proud about this. I have somebody driving from, I believe, Ohio or Indiana. So I'm pretty honored. I have another lady coming from Minneapolis. So and this is her second trip. So I know it is worth it. But I really appreciate that they come. Anyway, there is so much stuff that we do in the class. It's really awesome. And they're saying hi to you, Carl. That's sweet, guys. Thank you. I will show them. Oh, Tracy, you're on here. She's coming from Ohio. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I've never even met Tracy. This will be fun. And she even offered to help me, which I hope she knows that I am so taking advantage of that. But it's really a really awesome thing. And it's just like this. I give you so many tips and tricks and how I did stuff or why I did something the way I did. So it's really helpful to learn. So even if you can't come, you totally will be able to take advantage of all of the knowledge that you gain. And I always like to keep it fun. So when we are in person, we play games. In fact, I broadcast a game last time. I think the ladies are still mad at me for it, but it was so much fun. We laughed until we cried, so that was really funny. Let's just say this game did involve butt sticking out. But I believe I tried to keep that off of the camera. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. So I do recommend it. But like my regular online classes are just 8 videos. So if you go and watch one of my normal videos, they're between 5 and 15 minutes on a really long one, but they just go through each project, and then there's written directions and photos and all of that good stuff. And then usually at the end of all my classes, I try to put a bunch of stuff in at the end, like additional samples that pertain to whatever it was that we did. So lately I've been getting quite a few of those samples in there, which is nice. So it gives you more inspiration. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, dates. So the dates are going to be, I have two versions. Friday night, which is Friday, September 8th. From 5 p.m. I realize I should be writing this with a Sharpie. Friday, September 8th from 5 p.m. to midnight. Or Saturday, September 9th. I did get enough people so far, but there's still plenty of room, and that is from 11 a.m., so I don't have to be up at the crack of dawn, until 6 p.m. Okay. Do I have a feeling of Christmas? What do you mean by that, Cindy? I don't know what you mean, Cindy. Can you clarify? How many cards will I make? Are you talking? Oh, so the cost is $75 if you attend live. If you attend not live, it is $88. I want to say $45. I can't remember what the change is. And that is the cost of shipping the box of goodness to you. And that's how much a flat rate priority box is. The box is like this big by this big by this big. It's pretty awesome. And that comes in priority shipping. What else do we have? How many cards will you make? I have not finalized the cards, Elizabeth. In my regular online classes, we make 8 cards. In my all-day event, we usually make probably 12 to 15 projects. Now, one of those projects might be a box of cards that has 6 cards in it, you know, so that if that kind of helps you get an idea. And they're typically a little bit more involved cards. They're not super simple like this. They're maybe a little bit more like this kind of a thing, where they're just a little more involved. Cindy, do you mean, do I have Christmas? Am I having your at my house on a Saturday? Yes, Karen, I am. Thanks for all the great cards, tips, and you have to go fold laundry. If we sign up and miss the broadcast, will you still watch with the recording? I don't actually broadcast the event live. I did do a live of the games that we played just because it was fun and I wanted to include people in that. But what I do is record each video individually so you can watch them as often as you can stand to. Cindy, oh, page 16. That is what you're asking about. Where is my catalog? That must be a name of a stamp set. Can you tell I don't have them memorized yet? I have to keep looking. Feel for Christmas. Gosh, which one is that? And where is my catalog? Oh, here it is. I found it. Here's my catalog, but I can only show you the cover. Sorry. I know. Isn't it cruel? It kind of bugs me. 16. Feeling of Christmas. I do not have that stamp set yet. So if I get it, I will definitely show it. Wish you could be there. Family reunion. I know, it's always something. So Cindy, it's $75, and then if you need it mailed to you, it's $88.45 with the shipping. And I'm just charging you what the post office is charging me. Do you like this? My watch is telling me that it's time to stand. I've been standing for 2 hours. Are Canadian demonstrators allowed to buy those boxes? Ooh. That is a good question, and the answer is no, because it has product in it, and I'm pretty sure Canada would charge me about $75 to ship it to you, so probably not. I am so sorry. Where is this at, Don? I am in Cedar Falls, Iowa, which is about 4 hours from Omaha, 4.5 hours from Kansas City, 4.5, maybe 5 hours from St. Louis, 3.5 hours from Minneapolis, and about 5 hours from Chicago. How do you like that? We're kind of centrally located. The feeling of Christmas stamp set, is that what she meant? Yes. Last day to sign up. I will leave registration open as long as I can. Probably even up to that week, because I will send kits out on Wednesday. So I would, the following Wednesday, which is like the 13th. So I would say you could sign up until about Friday. Okay, that might delay your kit, might not make it out the next Wednesday, but I will leave registration open until then. It is an iWatch. You have a friend that lives in Cedar Falls. That's cool, Linda. How about Maine? How far? That's a good question. So Cindy, my mother-in-law is building a house in Maine right now, and I'm not sure. It's like Tennant's Harbor or something. It's north of somewhere. How do you like that? It's north of Boston, like 2.5 hours, I think. How do you sign up? That's a great question, Charlotte. So my website is, you're right, Donna, it is not 5 hours. My website is www.thecreativitykave.com. TYCAVE.com. Woo! And on there in the sidebar, there's a thing that says online classes. So if you click on that, you will actually, you should see it there. If it's not there, it will be very soon. I'll get it up right away. I thought I had it out there, but maybe not. I also posted a link to it. There's a picture. If you scroll through the feed that you're on watching this video right now, there's a little picture that says summer camp. It's kind of summery, and there's a link in there to register as well, and as well as more information. So, okay. And then again, I'm going to do my shameless plug. Of course, if there's anything you need to order, please order with the code 6WREMHT6. And if you place an order that's $100 and you use that code, you will get a free host set, and that is good until 8/31/17. Okay. Of course, if you don't place a $100 order, I'll still send you a treat. But if you do over $100, you get a good treat. And then what else? Okay, so then I've got my online classes. We talked about summer camp. Do you like how messy this is, by the way? I've got notes for you. I've got notes for me. We've got summer camp coming up. So that is Friday, September 8th or Saturday the 9th, and the different times. That's $75 in person or $88.45. Oh my gosh, you visit her. Go visit her and have a class. She needs to finish her house. It's not done yet. It's driving me nuts. Okay. I would love to come visit you. Okay, guys, I really think I do need to wrap it up because my battery's almost dead on my phone. Now, by the way, if you share the video or order, you will get entered into my drawing, or order, actually, and order. You'll get entered into my drawing for free stamps. What am I going to give away? I think I have something. Oh, I do have something awesome to give away. I am going to give away these So Many Shells stamp set. Look, it's already fancy. So make sure you get entered into that. I've been giving away a lot of stamps, so I would love to get you in on the action. You guys are so welcome, but please, 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 if you need to order anything, I would so appreciate your business. It helps me bring I just stamped with you for 2 hours, and I will tell you that does not come free. It takes a lot of time to prep for this, so I would so greatly appreciate your orders. If there's anything you need to order, please help me out. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Also, if you need to sign up for a class, that would be awesome. I promise you will not be disappointed. Thanks for joining me tonight. We will be back to our normal 3 o'clock next week, and I look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, check out my blog. I'd love to have you there. Thanks, guys. Bye.